All right, man, I had TCG here, and who do we have?
Zachary Finn.
And what did you do today?
I got 5th place at the Cool Stuff Hollywood Regional. I played the Spright deck. Thought it was really good. I like it a lot more than the tier deck. I think the tier deck is just like kind of like an orangey deck. You gotta know really good. So I like the Spright deck a lot. I played Pure Spright, and I'll show you the list in a second. I got a few shout outs. First and foremost, shout out Mana Hat TCG, as well as the rest of Pandora's Prodigies. Our sponsors, Lilfattony Gaming, as well as Salt and Friends. Want to shout out South Florida Yu-Gi-Oh! As a whole. Iron sharpens iron. You know, everyone down here is really good at the game, and we get some really good reps in against each other. Want to shout out the group chat. There's too many good boys in the group chat to name. I got 3 special shout outs. One for my boy John, one for my boy Hagab. They did the majority of the testing and theory of the deck with me this week. And I want to shout out John's Camaro because it only drives winners.
All right, so let's see what you played.
All right, so we'll start with the standard stuff in the deck. So we played 3 blue, 3 jet. There's really not much arguing those ratios. Pretty standard everywhere. We played 2 red. We played 2 red for a couple reasons. More names. Also, I kind of want to open like any 2 of these 3 cards. You know, like blue jet, jet red, like anything like that. That's going to get you. Red kind of protects you through your gigantic, which is in theory the most bottleneck play you have in the deck. So I liked it at 2. I played 1 carrot. Mostly it's a name, but the effect to negate spells and traps comes up a lot. It lets you play around some stuff. The Spright name that we played, the last Spright name, Pixies. Pixies seems to be growing in popularity. I thought it was really good. Initially, I was playing it just as another name, but you know, the upside of the battle trick is really good. There's a lot of games where, like, if you're kept off of Toad because of hand traps, you can elf bring back your blue before the end of main, get a Pixies, and they kind of change how they're going to play around the board. Also, during battle, like, you can starter into blue search Pixies or just starter into Pixies, and it's a nice battle trip that kind of like, it'll kind of throw them off a little bit. So play 10 sprites. Then our frogs, we played 4 frogs, 3 swap, Ronin. I chose not to play dupe. I don't miss dupe even a little bit. I think if Alpha and Prank were more, or Pankratops were more popular in the format, then maybe it would be better. But like, honestly, it's a card at hand that doesn't do anything really. And in the mirror, that, you know, the effect to kind of battle at first, it comes up a little bit, but you know, I didn't really miss it this week in testing or today in the regional. We played 3 Diva. The main reason we played this over any of the other normal summon engines is it's the smallest. You know, Dark Beckoning Beast package plays an extra card or 2, so I liked it. I thought it was just fine. There are some games where normal Diva don't use the effect, so you can special your sprites to play, but Diva was just fine. Then we got our hand traps, which I think is almost as integral to the deck as anything else here. So we played, we played 3 Ash. Ash is just always going to be a staple, especially in brand infusions in the format. We played 3 Veiler. We played 3 Imperms. And then we played 3 Nibiru in the main deck. Truthfully, I think Nibiru is the best card in the deck all day. In this format, you kind of need to draw 2 hand traps, so like there's no better combination of hand traps than like Nibiru plus Imperm, Nibiru plus Veiler, Nibiru plus Gamma, so I like these. I chose not to main deck Gamma. I didn't want Gamma in my hand going first, so I thought this was good. And then we played 3 talents as well. It helps kind of circumvent one of the problems with the deck. Sometimes you lose to 2 hand traps, so this kind of helps play around that. I didn't draw it a whole lot today, so you know, whatever, but all in all, the deer in it is pretty sound. So we played 15 defensive cards. Then the Spright spells, 3 starter, 1 smashers. I really didn't give up playing a second smashers. This card's crazy. Out's mine, out's floodgates. If you hit the normal summon in the mirror a lot, you're going to be way ahead. So I thought this card was really good. It's Called by the Grave. We played 2 Potted Desires over Potted Prosperity. Card says draw 2. I personally value my extra deck too much to be banishing cards from it. Also, there's so many redundant cards in your deck that like you just have to see any combination of two of them and you can play. So I wanted to draw, you know, multiple cards. I also like that there's games that you can do your full combo and then activate Desires as your last card to draw a double hand trap, and that kind of generally will blow them out. So I got that Desires is really good. And then the last two cards, we played Instant and Ready. Once again, going back to one of the problems I have with the deck is like it's hard to play through double hand trap sometimes. Sometimes if your normal summon gets hit, you're kind of stuck. So these kind of help circumvent them. They're free extenders, and I thought they were really good. I might even play a second Ready, but I like these cards a lot. We played those over like teleports and gamma in the main. The main deck total was 41, which I thought was pretty solid. Then the extra deck, so we got Almirage, just for the one card swap frog play. I didn't do it all today, but it's one of those things you rather play it than get caught with your pants down. Dark's really good in the mirror. It helps like turn bad names into good names. Like if you open like Carrot Red or like Pixies and you need a blue, you can take the blue in the mirror, so that's pretty good. Also floats into your good names. Played Unicorn. We were playing Celine for a little bit, but I decided, like most times that I was going like the Celine line, I realized I had an extra body anyway, so I decided to play Unicorn. There's a few niche things in the format that like I kind of want to make sure I can spin away. The Tier Element Fusion that mills 5 when it sends to the graveyard being one of them, so I thought this was okay. Access Code. Didn't summon Access Code today. I still wouldn't cut it. I mean, it's one of those cards that like if you need it, you want it there. So we played those four as like our generic links. Then we played Triple Elf, which seems to be kind of getting to be the standard in the deck. It's really important. Like it lets you play different ways. Like there was a game today where my elf got belled and I was able to still, I had a red, so I tribute the elf to, push the effect through, got a swap, made a toad. And then I activate instant to use, or to get the fusion, link the fusion and the red into a second elf, and I felt really safe doing that because I knew I had another elf for the follow-up. There's a couple other games that having 3 elf really just won the match for me, so I thought this is 100% correct to be playing going forward. 2 Gigantic, not a whole lot to say there. It's card's good. You only need 2. 1 Toad. This build is only ever going to need 1 Toad, so I was, it was just fine. This card's insane. It like does the same things that like Farfa did for the BA deck back in the day. Takes things off the board for 2 turns essentially. Card's really, really good. If you're not playing this deck, this is mandatory in my opinion. Then we played Sky Cavalry, Downer, Zeus. Pretty standard in my opinion. And then our Instant and Ready Fusion target. Level 2 tuner. I was playing Hulk most of the week. I cut it last night, but having this to go into Hulk was also cool. I didn't miss Hulk either today. I thought I was fine without it. The extra deck I thought was pretty good. The only card I honestly consider cutting would be Almirage. And if I cut it, it'd probably be for like Cat Shark or Daigusto Phoenix or something like that. Lastly, we got our side deck. So we played 3 Dark Roller No More, which is I think pretty mandatory this format. Then we played 3 Evenly. So like most games I'm siding in like 8 cards, and it's always going to be 5 of them are almost always the same, and then depending on the matchup I pick which one of these I think is better. Dark Roller is going to be better in like the Funk matchups. It's going to be better in the mirror. Evenly is crazy against Tier in my opinion, so I think these are fine. They did their, they served their purpose. The MVP of my side deck, Gamma, is just perfect out of the side deck. Like, I cannot stress to you how much I enjoy this card out of the side deck. Going first, I don't think the deck has enough plays where like you can play with an open board and try to bait something to their Gamma. So I thought it was great coming out the side. I also didn't draw a driver all day because of it, so I'm cool with that. Then we played Triple Appointer as my going first card. I think this card is the most, it has the most consistent floor against every matchup in the format. So like Barrier is a really good card, but like I think it's really good against Tier, but like kind of subpar in the mirror. Anti-Spell is another kind of deck, like it's really good against some of the fusion decks, not so good against the mirror. So like there's a lot of cards that are like really good against the mirror, but like not so good against the you know, the rest of the field, or vice versa. So I chose this because I thought it was pretty consistently good. Ripping Dark Roller is important. Ripping Sphere Mode, Lava Golem, things like that, and make the Rogue matchup was really good. This card, and then playing like your interruptions with Perfect Knowledge is always incredible. So this card I think was really good. I recommend it. And then we played as our last two cards, Harpies and Reboot, just as generic back row hate. Reboot goes in almost every matchup in my opinion. Like there's so many trap cards that come out of the side deck. Barrier, Anti-Spell, Solemn Judgment, Pointer. Then you got the Tier deck that plays like its usual trap cards. So like I just think this card is coming out of the side deck almost every game. So it was really good. But yeah, that was the list I played. Only changes I would consider at this time are cutting out Mirage for something, maybe putting a second Ready Fusion in my deck. Other than that, I was really happy with how the deck performed. And yeah, it was good stuff.
All right, congrats on the top, and I hope to see you some more.
I appreciate it.